Hello and welcome to the SOMO Village Community Builders series. Today we have a really special episode for you. We're sitting with the founders of the SOMOFit gym here at SOMO Village. And this is a really exciting milestone for you all. We are hitting the 1-year anniversary of being open. And you also won the best gym of the North Bay. So that is a huge accomplishment. Congratulations to all of you. How are you feeling 1 year in? Where are you all at with this?
Well, I think before we say anything else, we just want to thank all our members for voting, for showing up for us, for supporting us. I mean, we had a vision a year ago. Now we're sitting here and we can't even believe how far we've come. But without our members, we could have never achieved this. So, I think we just have to acknowledge how everybody has shown up for all of us.
Yeah, it came in a great time, right? 1 year anniversary, and winning that award, it's very special. So we're very grateful. Very grateful.
Thank you. Well, and you should feel so proud. So building into SOMO Village, bringing SOMOFit in, that changes the whole scope of this space. It brings in this health and this wellness. There's so many aspects. There's recovery, cold plunge, sauna, Pilates, sculpt, and strength training, all the things. So what do you feel this role has played with bringing SOMOFit into the community here?
I will start. I think we always wanted SOMO Village to be a wellness-focused community, and SOMOFit just solidifies that vision. And it's not only a place for people to exercise, but it's a great place for our neighbors, people that work at SOMO Village, to connect with each other. So it goes beyond wellness. It's an amazing place for people to connect, and I don't think SOMO Village will be the same place without it.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I'd love to say something. I see SOMOFit as a bridge. It just feels like we see every person who partakes in this village at SOMOFit, or there's a place for them, and it's really refreshing to be able to connect with any age, any profession, any business that's around here has somebody who comes to SOMOFit.
That's
so
true.
Really truly feels like a wholesome, connective space where we all come together.
And it's really interesting to see different also age groups, right? People can interact with each other. You would not expect that, or you wouldn't have that probably opportunity otherwise. So it's wonderful to see people in their 20s, in their 60s, exercising in one room, often in very challenging environments that Connie is creating in a hot sculpt classes or strength classes. But it's a wonderful experience to see.
It mixes the spaces. Like you'll see co-work members in the gym meeting each other, different companies of different people, and
which
then
otherwise
they
wouldn't talk to each other, or wouldn't have the opportunity.
Right. Everybody would kind of be in their own realm, and it just kind of mixes everybody together.
And speaking of all the workouts, Connie, I'd love to start with you. You are kind of the heart of the space. You are there bright and early every day. You just have this cheerful smile. You're bringing so much energy. You're cultivating the workouts. There's so much thought that goes into everything you're doing for the workouts and the classes and creating that. So could you walk us through your philosophy and how you've come up with all the methods and the ways that you're bringing people together and creating a safe space? Because it can feel intimidating sometimes to do these kinds of things and to push yourself to be stronger. So can you share on that?
Thank you for that. I really appreciate the kind words. And I'm still learning. I think that's a part of it. I'm always striving to be humble and lead by example. Every day is a new day to do better and show up regardless of how I'm feeling that day. I think we all can agree that not every day is going to be perfect, but I'm choosing to do it anyways. And I almost look at it as a mirror, whatever I do, because I'm a head coach or I'm a leader. Our staff, our coaches, anybody, even the members, are going to mirror and reflect back. So I do believe that whatever it is that I do, I just truly care. I do the very best I can. I connect with members, with whoever is around me. I think that's really what I'm always trying to do, is acknowledge them, connect with them, check in, know their names, just build a thriving culture and community that the space deserves. And it's making me emotional sometimes just to see how my heart is just everywhere. You know, whatever I say or do, it's sorry.
Well, I will just add that Connie was our employee number one. She's our head coach, and for a reason, because she has this amazing ability to connect with everyone that is around her. She's doing an excellent job, and this place wouldn't be without you to what it is right now. But on top of that, she's not only leading great workouts and creating this community, but also making sure that all of our coaches are on top of their game, and we have a wonderful team of great coaches, which I'm very proud of. And it's very amazing to see how everyone is growing in their roles and just constantly aspiring to do better and continuously improving their craft. And without those coaches, this would be just, you know, a gym, and without the members, it wouldn't be anything what it is right now.
I just wanted to also say thank you to Connie. She always makes everyone so welcome, but also wanted to point out that Connie is actually a perfect example of being an ambassador of whole SOMO Village lifestyle. She moved into one of our houses, and she just lives this, you know, lifestyle that we actually kind of were dreaming of creating here at the village. So thank you for, you know, just being this like really you know, one of the most important members of the whole community.
That's
not
true.
Only some of it.
Thank you. I have one more thing to say about the coaches. I think a good leader turns others into leaders as well. So I always strive to, of course, course correct and do what I need to do to teach, but I also always encourage. I want them to feel empowered and confident. So it's the most rewarding feeling when I see another coach succeed. A good example, I'm just going to bring it up, is Mike, who started at the front desk. And we truly gave him all the tools and the confidence and the training to now shine the way he does. And I've gotten so much great feedback about Coach Mike. Again, all of them are great. It's just it's a good example of what the right environment and culture can do for a person who's young but really ambitious.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing all that, and you can definitely feel all the intention and care that goes into any class, all the coaches, you and everyone. It's amazing. So.
And I just want to add one more thing. It's probably, I would say it's a very challenging job because, as you said, you have to show up every day with enthusiasm. And even though when you might be doing the fourth class of the day, you set the tone in the room, you set the environment, you set the energy, and without you being fully engaged and excited about this 1 hour that you're going to lead, no one else would be excited to be there. So it's hard to do, and I have a lot of respect towards that.
Thank you, Maciek.
Oh, well, Lisa, so you are kind of maybe a little more behind the scenes in some ways, but you are contributing so much to SOMOFit, the social media, the marketing, the member experience, the team members, and the, work culture for the team as well. So would you walk us through, how you've created such a beautiful, warm, and intentional space in your creative process for social media and marketing and all the things?
Thank you. I just try and put myself, I think, in everyone's shoes. So I think about, what the member is feeling, what they're looking for. So not just from the time they come in the door, but what's our impression online? What are they seeing on social media? We want to present ourselves in a true way so that when people see and they want to be here, that's what we're delivering. So always being genuine. But just always thinking about, maybe someone's new and maybe they're feeling nervous, and how do we make them always feel welcome? And then how do we help people belong? So giving them all the information, making sure they know what tools that they have, making sure that we're always supportive. And then even kind of modeling, like Connie says, of like modeling. We connect people. We connect with members. The staff is connected, and we want the members to connect. I think that's kind of like the secret sauce in community is we aren't just connecting with people, but we want them to ultimately connect, because that's where they're going to get the genuine connection to kind of carry on in the space. And then just thinking about, what kind of events can we have? How do we keep bringing people together, keep them invested in themselves and staying consistent? So I just think it's just always having in mind, what are people thinking? What are they feeling? What do we need? What do they need from us? And just making sure that we're always delivering on kind of the image that we put out there, and then just keeping genuine in the space.
I just want to say something about our relationship with Lisa. She was our employee number 1 at SOMO Cowork, which Hannah is right now taking the lead. And when we were hiring Lisa, we've heard that she was a manager of Orange Theory. So the idea of SOMOfit started a long time ago before it actually became a reality. And again, it wouldn't be, this place wouldn't exist without your expertise and your knowledge that you gained, previous jobs. So.
Thank you. And it's been so nice. Like, I think SOMO Village is such an ecosystem, and it's so rewarding to take all of the experience I've had out in the world and feel so encouraged to give input on things that maybe even like I'm at Cowork, but I'm encouraged to be part of SOMOfit too. So it's been such a nice place for me to really kind of like be a whole rounded person. And I think that's what we want to give members in all the spaces, is like that kind of lane to do, fully be yourself. So
when we were interviewing Lisa, me and Agata, it was during COVID, it was a Zoom interview, and we were poking each other underneath the table. We were like, look at this is the girl. We have a great employee. So
yeah. I didn't know about SOMOfit at the time, and I was like, oh no, because here I am applying for one position and they're asking me about my gym experience, and I was like, oh, they think
that's confusing.
She's all over the place. You do this and do that, and so it was a nice surprise.
Yeah. Oh, well, definitely a good find. Amazing. Yeah. And Machek, so you really set a fire to everything, bringing everything into action, getting things moving, making things come to life. You really have a gift for taking an idea and turning it into a reality. And not everyone can do that. So I'd love if you can kind of walk us through maybe behind the scenes or thinking back over the past year and years. As you mentioned, SOMOfit's been in the making for much longer than just the past year. What key steps or maybe milestones or lessons have you learned that really can help someone to actually make something come to life?
Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate what you're saying. But I was given a lot of great opportunities, and quite often I had no idea what I was doing. But I had always had an idea, always had a vision. But I think the hard part is to take that vision and actually break it into smaller parts and continuously execute on every day, even though you might be doubting yourself or you're tired and you don't know if this is a good idea. Many times throughout this process, we were like, is this really a good idea? Is this a mistake? So we had this conversation probably once a week, panicking. But then you have this idea, you turn it into smaller steps, and then you have to think, what's the end result? How do you want to make people feel when they step into this experience? And based on that, you go into the design process. And this is where Agata can share her experience. We collaborated on that together. But again, it boils down to the mindset. You have to believe in yourself. You have to executing on small steps, and then but most importantly, it's you have the vision, you start putting this plan into action, but without the right people, it's gonna fall flat. So you have to surround yourself with the right people, with the right team, because without the support, it's impossible to achieve that. So and then most importantly, you have to improve as you go. You have to listen to the feedback, you have to listen to your team's feedback, and then once you open, you have to listen to your customers' feedback. So we continuously improve of what we're doing. It starts as a vision, but then it morphs into what it actually needs to be and what people expect it to be.
I think that's been a big learning process for us of, you envision it one way, you think this is going to be perfect, and when you actually do it, sometimes it's not right. So I'm really proud of us because we've always been able to say when we weren't right and to correct it, because we want to make sure that everybody is having the best experience, and sometimes admitting that what we thought was best was not best for everybody, and then being able to pivot and improve from there.
Absolutely. You can have an assumptions, but then reality comes, and you have to be willing to admit that it was not the right decision and move on.
Those are great lessons to learn, and I'm sure very valuable for anyone trying to start some kind of big entrepreneurial vision. So thank you. And as you mentioned, Agata, you had a beautiful role in creating the aesthetic of the space. And if you walk in, it does not feel like a typical gym. There's like plants, there's a living wall, there's just like the colors, the schemes. It feels so elevated. It feels so warm and welcoming. And I would love for you to just share about the vision you had and the intentions behind curating and cultivating that space.
Thank you, Hannah. I'm so glad that that's your experience of the space. And I just wanted to kind of connect this whole conversation again to the larger ecosystem of SOMO Village. I have been involved in creating the spaces around SOMO Village for more than 10 years. So I think when the idea of somofit came about, we really wanted to SOMO Fit to be its own independent and very lively and successful business, but it also had in mind that it's part of this larger vision and also part of the aesthetic that we already have here around SOMO Village. So, that kind of was like a main maybe driver to what were the main design sensibilities around creating SOMO Fit. And also, really being intentional with creating very unique space and, kind of also serving a specific function. So I think, overall in SOMO Village, we really try to create beautiful spaces, but that feel really good for people. Like, many times I've heard this feedback when people enter SOMO Cowork, oh, this space, really feels good.
Yeah.
And a lot goes behind, that really feel
A lot
good.
of touches, right? A lot of small
a lot
things.
of feel good feeling in a space. And I think what is actually kind of the plus for us, we spend a lot of time at SOMO Village. So we we really tweak and and kind of massage almost the vision until it really comes to fruition. So we spend a lot of times in SOMOFIT space before it became what it is, and actually literally we're putting ourselves in members' shoes, how it feels walking into the space, how much space would feel right, how much, what the opening would feel, what's too big, what's too small. And I think it was a really dynamic process of really trying to strike this balance between a space being again, elegant and elevated, but at the same time feeling really easeful, or feeling maybe beautiful, but also very functional and practical. And then also maybe, inspiring, but also kind of relaxing, where people can really relax. And I also really was working with this idea of how we can balance feminine and masculine, because
That's
a lot of
point.
gyms are really strong masculine energy that don't feel really inviting, can be really intimidating for female to go and really feel comfortable. And and then at the same time we want for everybody to enjoy the gym and feel like they're getting what they need. And so I think we were able to do that, but I would just maybe end on this, the main inspiration for us really is always nature.
Yeah.
So, you can bring nature into design in so many different ways, and I think we're trying to, bring the wood elements, the colors, and natural light, the plants, also landscaping. When you actually on your treadmill, you're looking outside at something beautiful, and just all these things, they're not random. They all really thought through. We spend a lot of time talking together. What would feel again, a perfect, blend of everything that is needed and desired too. So, I feel really proud of this project. It was so fun to create it, and I love seeing it all, alive. But again, I would just also end on this point that we can have the most beautiful design, but if you don't have the right people, it would go nowhere. So we kind of have this saying here, it takes a village, but we also kind of always say it takes a SOMO Village to create a place. So that's, I think, what is our somewhat philosophy or motto, or just a little credo that we have that we follow.
Yeah. And I think it translates so well because each of you really show, each of you get to really highlight your unique strengths in this project. And so it's just such a beautiful example of, how working together for the common vision and each sharing where your gift shines. So that really comes through.
Can I say something? Yes. This just came to me, but I was talking to a member who was sharing that she's been doing classes for a long time. She's always been a gym goer. She's very, dedicated, disciplined, all the things. But she said since being at SOMO Fit, she's also lost even more weight. She feels so much better. And I think that's not just, the classes are great. And I know I put so much care and effort into it, but I think it's the community, the feeling of being acknowledged and having these little conversations and check-ins every day. And then also the space, if the space feels so, all the things that you just said, I think it's really good for the nervous system. It does something to you. It's healing. So I think people can just be here and be better just by showing up. And it takes a village or all of us and more to achieve that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. And I know people are going to find so much value in hearing behind the scenes and how much has gone into building such an incredible space.
Thank you so
much. On to more
exciting
milestones.
Thank you so much, Hannah.
Thank you.